guys, it's Brittany from My Core Floor. Just thought I would jump on. It is Saturday afternoon and I just got back from a hike and took a nice hot shower. How is everyone surviving the quarantine and the coronavirus? Hopefully you are enjoying some much needed family time and some outside time, which is what we are doing at our house. But I wanted to jump on because last night my husband sent me this advertisement that he had seen on TV and he thought I should check it out. About a product for incontinence that involves putting on a pair of shorts that has electrodes in it that just you lay down and it magically strengthens your pelvic floor. And I really try to avoid, there's a lot of these kind of devices that are out there, and I really try hard to avoid looking at these advertisements or checking them out in detail because they infuriate me. And one of my friends at work always says, this is one of Britt's fits. Like, I just get so, it frustrates me so much because if it was that easy to just put some electrodes on our body, we'd all be walking around with six-pack abs and, super perfect muscles and super perfect strength. And so I just thought it was a good opportunity for me to jump on. So I ended up checking out this advertisement that he sent me and looking into the research behind it. And then that led to me looking up some of these other devices. And everybody's heart is in the right place. So all of the people that are inventing these devices, they mean well. They are looking to do the same thing as me, help women stop their problems with incontinence or stop their problems with pelvic floor dysfunction. Their hearts are in the right place. Doctors, when they tell you guys to do Kegel exercises, their hearts are in the right place. I literally had a urologist say to me a couple of years ago, my patients are doing so well coming to see you in physical therapy. What do you do with them? And so I literally pulled out my model and explained to him the science behind my understanding of the pelvic floor and my 20 years of background of the pelvic floor and how the muscles work and what the function is. And he was like, oh, that makes so much sense. We don't get any of that in med school. So guys, these people, these doctors that are inventing a lot of these devices or telling you to just do Kegel exercises, their hearts are in the right place. They are just like me wanting to help you guys find success. And they just don't have the understanding, the biomechanical understanding. I actually looked at one of these devices that my husband sent me, and it kept saying the woman's background, the inventor, her background was in women's health. So I was like, well, what does that mean? My background's in women's health too, but I'm a physical therapist. So I went and looked at her LinkedIn, and I was just because I was curious. And she has no background in physical therapy, no background in pelvic health. She's worked in the women's health arena in other areas, but not in pelvic floor function or dysfunction. So guys, if you're going to be looking into buying some of these devices or wanting to help improve incontinence, just make sure you do the research behind it, because a lot of times the people who are putting these devices out don't actually have the biomechanical understanding and the knowledge behind how the pelvic floor works. And the problem with a lot of these devices is that they really focus on Kegels. They focus on contracting your muscles either for you, or one device you insert it like a tampon and then it hooks up to your smartphone and it tells you if you're Kegeling correctly. And it tells you that you can lay on your sofa and just squeeze. Or the shorts, you lay on your sofa and it just magically contracts for you. You don't do anything. You just read a book and your shorts contract for you and make your pelvic floor stronger. And there's just so many things behind this, guys, that people don't understand when they're purchasing these products for literally $200, $450. One of the products was $42 a month to, purchase over a period of time. They're only looking at one way that the pelvic floor moves. It's that vertical contraction, that Kegel contraction that makes the whole pelvic floor work as a unit. The problem is, guys, that when you're having incontinence, most often you're either trying to get to the bathroom or you're trying to jump or run or get up from the toilet and not drip a few extra drops, which means your whole body is moving. You're not usually laying on the sofa having incontinence. So my whole thing is that you need to train the body at the points where you have the problem. If you want to be a great runner, you don't jump in the swimming pool. So it's the same thing. If you want to be a great runner, you have to train running. You can do cross training that helps, strengthen your body in different ways. But ultimately, if you want to run well, you have to run. And so if you want your pelvic floor to work well, you have to train it the way that it's going to work when you're out needing it to function for you. So laying on the sofa is not typically a place where we experience incontinence. It's usually when we're up and we're moving. The other problem with a lot of these devices is that they enforce contraction of the pelvic floor. For a lot of women I see when I do internal evaluations on people, when I do one-on-one private clients, a lot of times their pelvic floors are already super tight. And part of the problem and the reason that they're having issues with incontinence is that the pelvic floor has gotten tight and weak. So weak doesn't always mean that the pelvic floor is overstretched out. Sometimes weak means that the pelvic floor is super tight and contracted, and so it therefore can't function. So one of the roles of the pelvic floor is to really support the bladder and also to squeeze close the urethra to keep anything from dripping out. But if your pelvic floor is already tight, I tell clients, make a fist and now squeeze it tighter. Can you tell I squeeze tighter? You can only generate so much power when you're already tight and contracted. And so for a lot of women with incontinence issues, it's not an issue of being over lengthened or stretched out and weak. It's an issue of being tight and weak. And so a lot of these devices are encouraging more tightening, which can actually ultimately make the problem worse. Now, I know when you look at all these device commercials, and I started doing all this research and Googling this afternoon because I'm home with nothing to do after my hike. A lot of them is talk about how many women reported improvement and whatnot. But my question is always in cases like this, were women getting better because of the product or in spite of the product? Our bodies are meant to help heal ourselves. We're meant to move in certain ways. Our bodies will self-heal. So, I often my question when I'm looking at a lot of these research studies, the interesting thing is they talk about how one of the devices said 80% of the women reported improvement after 12 weeks. But it doesn't say how many women in the study. It just says a pilot study of women, and 80% of them were better. But it doesn't say, was that like 10 women and 80% were better? Was it 5 women and 80% were better? So guys, just if you are looking for kind of the quick fix, I hate to break it to you, there's not a lot of quick fixes in this life. Usually hard work is required to get the success that we need. And so whether that's related to pelvic floor function, personal growth, job growth, getting better in a sport or an activity, you have to work hard to get there. And so I would love to say, put on a pair of shorts and let them contract for you while you read a book on the sofa. But likely, guys, that's not going to be where you find success. It's going to be in moving your body and giving your body all the things it needs. When you first potty trained as a kid, your mom never sticks a pair of shorts on you with electrodes. How do you learn to get bowel and bladder control as a young kid? It's through movement, guys. If you look at this model, my science, it's not rocket science. The pelvic muscles show you what they do. They show you the directions they run in. They show you that those fibers move forward and back, that those fibers move side to side, and that they rotate. So your pelvis and your body has to move in those directions to activate those fibers. If you don't move them, you will lose them like any other muscle in your body. So, it just, seeing all these different commercials and that commercial my husband sent me and then doing the research, just felt like a good opportunity for me to jump on and remind you guys that really for improving pelvic floor function, the solution is in you. You are your own solution. It doesn't require devices. It doesn't require a lot of money. It just requires knowing your body and where your body's limitations are with movement and what movements you need to interact and put into your body to get the results you need. And so with that, in all this quarantine chaos, I've had a lot of people reach out to me because they're now not able to get to pelvic PT appointments. So whether that's because they're immune compromised or they're living with someone immune compromised or they're just really, buckling down at home for the time being. And so they wanted to know if my core floor was an option for them while they were home, which it definitely is. And then I've had about 20 people jump on the wait list this week, even though we just closed CART a couple weeks ago. And so we decided to break our own rules. The rule was going to be we closed CART, we're closed for a while, we're going to open back up in the summer, but we're going to break our own rules. So for just this weekend alone, we are going to open back up the membership. The membership offers education videos and an education series, and I don't want to wait too long because I want people who are jumping in now to be able to catch up with where we are. We offer a personalized exercise program. We take you through where your symptoms are, what it is you need, and then we give you the exercises you need to find success. And it doesn't involve laying on your couch, so I'm sorry it's not that easy. But a lot of us are home now, and we're quarantined, and why not get moving and get some exercises? For 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day, you can actually do exercises that are going to help improve your pelvic floor in the times that you need it to, so that you can jump with your kids on the trampoline, so that you can run, so that you can avoid leaking when you're coughing, laughing, sneezing. So for this weekend, the membership is back open. I don't want to harass you guys. I know you saw a lot of me a couple weeks ago when my cart was open, but I just want to let you know that I'm here for you. We're here to, help you guys out. And so if you want access to, all this pelvic health information, if you want access to me, I've been a pelvic PT for 20 years. I want to help you guys find success. My heart is in the right place, just like all these device companies. But I just, after 20 years of working with women and helping them find success, I just feel like we have the right set of tools to give you guys to find success, and at a pretty cheap cost. So literally when I broke down the cost for my core floor, it's 3 cents an hour that you're paying for access to me as a pelvic PT. So for 66 cents a day, you guys can get access to all of this education, to the exercises you need, to a personalized program. So there it is. My core floor is open just through the weekend. Hopefully this little, Britt Fit, Britt Rant, whatever you want to call it, just educated you guys a little bit on some of the devices out there, some of the other products out there. Even when your doctors are telling you to do Kegels, guys, their hearts are in the right place, just like mine. We want to help you get better. We want to help you find success. It's just that there's not a lot of knowledge out there, and not a lot of people just know the biomechanics and the understanding of the pelvic floor the way physical therapists do. So if you have any questions, certainly comment below. You can private message me. You can shoot me an email at brittany@mycorefloor.com, and I will include a link for joining My Core Floor. If you didn't jump in when the cart was open a couple weeks ago, but you're thinking, oh, I'm home now, and maybe this is a good time for me to have some focus on myself because, I can't do anything else under quarantine, then go ahead and join us at My Core Floor, and we would love to have you in our community. Have an awesome rest of your Saturday, guys. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we will talk soon. Take care.